let's talk about some stuff.
We said we were going to talk about and didn't, and we have to talk about it. James Harden, playoff James Harden.
Okay.
The anti-Kyrie.
Did you see that they put out a fucking...
Thank
Fuck
you,
James
man.
Harden. I am tired of this guy who gets 10 bullshit calls a game,
Oh.
complaining about not getting 2 questionable calls.
Keep that
Same energy.
Yeah.
That's it. You see the way he takes a shot. He jumps up in the air. He falls at least 3 feet forward. He kicks his legs another 2 feet forward. Of course, there's going to be some contact. He's created a brilliant hack to the game, which is my release point will be at one place, but I will land at another
else,
place.
yeah.
Therefore, it will always be contact if there is a contest for the shot. I mean, don't get me wrong. That is genius. And I've said many times before that I believe James Harden is the most skilled offensive player in the history of the game of basketball. That being said, shut the fuck up. You're not going to get some calls sometimes, buddy. That's how the game goes. And you are the guy who gets more calls than anybody else, more bullshit calls than anybody else. And this should be an easy, it's a wash.
I get
That's
it.
my issue.
That's it.
I think the officiating was bad. I think they got fucked last year by the officials against Golden State.
Okay.
But you are the #1 team and player, maybe in the history of the game, on benefiting from bullshit calls.
Yeah.
So for you to suddenly be so up in arms,
I want a fair shake.
how do you think you got here? It's unfair shakes. Traveling on game winners. 4 steps, nobody calls it. Now officiating got to be consistent.
Yes.
Get the fuck out of here. Also, 9 for 28 is a dog shit percentage.
Absolutely.
I don't care if you put up 38 points. That is not a big time performer.
That's absolutely
I
right.
gave dirt shit as a Dallas fan for not coming through in the playoffs in big games. James Harden, that's his MO every year. Look at his stat line in his biggest series.
Yep.
Always poor shooting percentages.
Yeah.
Doesn't dominate a game. If they want to win, Chris Paul's going to have to be much more assertive, just like he was last year. And when his body breaks down, just like it did last year, and it's on James Harden, they're going to fall short, just like last year.
Goddamn, couldn't have said that better myself.
Kaz, talk to
Couldn't have
us.
said any better.
Kaz,
But
talk to us.
As much as James Harden's kind of fucking this up, I kind of got to put this on the refs because they set that precedent already. They let it slide for 2 seasons. The bullshit calls,
That's a
the
fair
bullshit
point.
step
But they
into
only
the
missed
front.
2.
No,
we're
but
not
I mean,
talking
like
about
calling it in the first place.
But
Like
you're going to miss a
establishing-
certain amount of calls, right?
No, I was like
I'm not
four,
even. I'm not even.
four or
I'm
five.
not
It
even
was like-
mad at the missed calls or whatever. I'm saying if they don't establish the precedent that these bullshit push-offs, these bullshit walks, these bullshit jumping into people and flailing, all that bullshit, like, if that's not there for 2 seasons ahead, you're not bitching about this. I don't even think you're that good of a team.
So they should
if you're taking away all those points.
So what you're saying, I think a lot of people are saying is they should continue making bad calls that benefit James Harden throughout the playoffs instead of correcting what they did wrong, which was make poor calls.
No, I think what the referees did was absolutely fair and correct.
Good.
I never thought those were fouls. I thought if you're an offensive player initiating contact, that's not a foul. And that's what James Harden is a master at. He's set records for free throws because of this shit, right? And the referees and the way the game's being played, they set that precedent now. So of course it's gonna make the referees look bad now because these are the calls you've made all year for the past 2 years. And now instead of making it look like, oh, the referee's doing a bad job, just be like, no, James Harden, this shit was never a foul. We let you slide for 2 years on this bullshit.
I do think Golden State gets away with more calls and other things than every other team. I do think that.
They get away with more moving screens than I've ever seen any team
and I
get away
hate
with.
Golden State, and I want Houston to win. I'm just listening to obviously I got friends from Houston, and they're just so up in arms about this. And it's like, fam, shut the fuck up. Like, you still had a chance to win. Don't put this on the refs when you lose by 4. You 9 for 28, you lost by 4. That's not
game.
the refs.
This is
winnable
a
game, and
game.
you didn't come through. Your shooting percentage was 30%. That's not getting it done. Greats, shoot 50. 35 points on 28 shots is just not good, straight up.
Now,
Well,
what would you say to the average Houston fan that goes, his shooting percentage would have been better if those shots that he got fouled on that they didn't call didn't count against his percentage?
Yeah, my friend said that. He said 5. There were 5 calls that should have happened.
So it would have been 9 for 23, which
Still
is
not good.
It's not good, but it's not bad. 9
not
for 23
awful.
is not awful.
Yeah.
not
9
awful.
for 28. Now we're in the 30% category.
We're in James
Yeah.
Harden territory.
Yeah.
That's where we are.
Yeah.
We're in
playoff
He's
James
already
Harden
established that
territory.
precedent,
We're
too.
acting
Like-
listen,
Yeah.
the calls were horrible last year, Game 6 and Game 7. They also missed 40 fucking threes in
Yeah.
Game 7 at home.
Yeah.
So don't
Oh.
put this on the refs.
Was
Yeah.
it 27 straight threes or some shit?
Yeah.
that they
No,
missed in the
27,
playoffs?
something
Yeah.
crazy like that.
Yeah.
When we have a
Ridiculous.
bad set, we have bad audiences sometimes.
That's true.
And it's at the end of the day, what do we say? At the end of the day, it's still on us.
Mm-hmm.
It is still on us.
Yeah.
And if you want to be great in your field,
Yeah.
it is still on you.
Yeah.
You had a game-tying 3 at the end. You didn't hit it. You know who was up 2 and hit a big 3 at the end of the game? Even though they played like dog shit all game? Steph.
Steph hit that.
Who I don't even think is a great playoff
You're right.
performer. But he hit that shot.
That was a big shot. That was a big fucking shot. Yeah, it's a tricky. I agree completely with what you're saying.
James Harden's great playoff moment? Somebody name me one end of the game great playoff moment from James Harden.
All right, I can't.
I think when he like untucks his jersey and you see his belly a little bit. Nobody arches their back.
My
when
man is
untuck.
built just like Kaz, and that's not a bad build, but you a fucking NBA
Yeah.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
I think it's just the head that. I don't
No,
think the
I was
body.
looking at his body. I was like, my man is built just like Kaz.
he's best case
And
scenario.
that's-
You.
His best case.
Yeah.
No, he's right now case scenario Kaz.
So
Yeah.
my only thing with Harden
Yeah.
is this
Same
whole
40 time,
this whole
guaranteed.
I hate the fact that they just didn't adjust. Like, if you're not getting that call, adjust. Stop flailing. Stop doing. Stop
So
exaggerating
infuriating.
more. Like, bro,
Right.
like you're on the road. You're not gonna get calls anyway.
What do you expect calls on the road?
Yeah, you're not gonna get calls anyway, dog. Like,
I don't wanna grant him
adjust the
bail.
game.
I don't want to grant him bail, but the refs can't wait till the playoffs to start calling shit different.
Yeah, the whole like it's a play.
I can
There's a
accept that.
playoff.
That is a
foul.
valid point.
I
Is whack.
disagree that. I disagree with that because I think if at any point in the season you can make a correction that should be there. And if they recognize that this guy plays a certain way and that he is cheating the game and they have a way to change the way that they officiate, they should do it.
Yeah, but
in my
in the
opinion.
I have a
playoffs,
feeling-
I think it should start at the beginning of the season.
I also have a
So,
feeling.
But then what do you wait? Sorry. Then what do you wait until you
Yeah.
continue to make bad calls?
Yeah,
See, I
because
disagree
they
with
sent
that.
that president.
No, because so what happens a lot of times, right, in the playoffs is this. The game slows down for the refs too because they're seeing the same players night after night and they're seeing exactly how they play against each other. So coaches will go up to the refs and be like, hey, Draymond sets illegal screens at the block. Can you do us a favor and just watch? Or Montrezl Harrell hangs out in the paint a long time
you
for this certain play. Can you do it, right? So just so what you do is, as a coach, is you start lobbying for the things you want. And they've primed these players. They said, listen, when James jumps up, and they go over video with them, they go, when James jumps up, he's jumping into us. At least give us the benefit of the doubt for a straight up jump to block the shot. And I think the refs have looked at the footage and rightfully agreed. And you know why they're not noticing contact now? And this is all on James? Because James flails, so they're looking at feet, not hand. When James jumps up for a shot, now refs are looking at if his position has moved toward his defender or if he's maintained the same position. And instead of looking at his follow through where there might be a hand touching a hand. And that's on James Harden.
I will say this. I don't think they make this adjustment against any other team. I think if Houston is playing a second round series against Portland,
Right.
James Harden is getting all these calls.
I was about to say, like,
You think this is bias for the Warriors?
Yeah.
Is that
I don't necessarily think the league is rigged or whatever. Let's just say we all know superstars get calls and they got the most superstars.
Yeah.
And that's a logical explanation. Fine. But they do get calls. And I think against any other team, James Harden still gets his calls. Because he's the biggest star on the floor.
Yeah.
Here,
something
he's
to be said
3.
for that? There's something to be said for that. I think
I
that's
guarantee you he's going to get all those calls game 2. He's getting all those calls game 2.
That's
Okay.
also possible.
Like, you have to.
They
I
took a
think
lot of flack.
They came out with the whole fucking report. It's been the talking point at every fucking morning sports show this week. Like, he's getting all of those calls in game 2.
I disagree.
I guarantee you,
'Cause
it's
if
gonna
they
be a
switch it,
fucking.
then they are
It's gonna be a
admitting that
fucking
they're wrong.
marching band to the fucking.
So here's the
free throw line
question:
all game.
does he still keep up the antics in game 2? I have a theory that he's not gonna. I have a theory he's gonna go, I'm not gonna fall on the ground every time I shoot because I'm not gonna get the calls. So I'm just gonna focus on trying to knock down these shots, and I think he's gonna shoot better because of it.
He's got to.
I think what happens with James Harden, and I was trying to calculate why he shoots worse in the playoffs. And I think it's because he's playing for the foul instead of playing for the knockdown shot because he doesn't want to go a possession without scoring. And it is way easier to guarantee a foul than guarantee the knockdown. Once he realizes I'm not getting those shots, all he's doing is following through and looking at that ball go into the basket, and I think it will help him. I think James has a good shooting night.
I think so.
Coming up.
I think, honestly, between that, I think not just for the Rockets, but like specifically for James Harden and why they've matched up so well against the Warriors for so long, going to the free throw line slows the game down against Golden State. Like, you're gonna get way more possessions. You're not gonna. I mean, you're gonna get way less possessions. So if you don't get that game breaking Warriors run that you always get, like, you're always in the game. So even though if they weren't getting fouled, it was still a pretty close game. They're only down by like 3 or 4 with the game on the line. But if you're not getting those free throws and the Warriors are just fucking nuking you like they do to every team, and you get those 20-0 runs, 30-0 runs, like, you're done. The only way to keep it a fair game is if James Harden is going to the free throw line.
How is that even considered a foul? It's not even close. You think was that debatable at all? Not
Look
this
where
part.
his feet are.
Look where he takes off.
Shot from
He's
here.
way behind the free throw line,
good
3-point line.
foot behind, or
He's
yard
a good
behind.
2 feet.
2 feet
behind.
minimum. Watch where Draymond lands. Draymond lands on the 3-point line. Harden was 2.5 feet beyond the 3-point line, and Harden and Draymond land together. That means Harden has moved closer to Draymond. Draymond has not moved closer to Harden.
Unnaturally closer.
Unnaturally closer. No foul at all. I'm sorry.
That's not a foul.
Yeah, it's
I think
not
Clay
fair.
got
It's
away
not
with
fair
one.
to the defender.
I think Clay got away with one, but this was...
You got to give him a chance to defend.
Clay got away with one early.
Yeah.
Maybe 2. But that happens in a game. You go to the basket, you get fouled, you don't get a call. Yeah. We're acting like these 2 no calls were the only no calls the entire
Up under
game.
the feet
Fuck
is
outta
fucked
here.
up, though, because it, what did Kobe say? He Jalen Rose me? Where Jalen Rose guy came under Kobe's feet and then twisted his ankle?
Yeah,
that's
but-
a dirty
Space to
play.
land, yeah.
But this
This isn't.
induced by Harden.
This isn't.
Right. What I'm
The
saying.
Clay one.
Right. What I'm saying is, I don't even know if the Clay one is that much.
Perhaps.
Right. So it's like, this is, if Harden is putting his feet in front, like, notice how
No,
Harden
that's-
lands.
that's
Look how
not- this is
he
not
lands
on
on his
Draymond.
tippy toes. Like,
Right?
he's not trying to...
Look how Harden lands, right? Harden always lands when he throws his feet. He lands light on his feet and falls to the ground because he knows he doesn't want to turn an ankle.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He knows he's going for the foul and he doesn't want to turn the ankle. This is all strategy. This is choreography. He's not even trying to land.
No, it's gross, and I hate the Warriors, but to act like you got hosed off of this call
Stop it.
is crazy.
Dude, it's so bad it's making me root for the Warriors. I'm rooting for the Warriors this series.
Wow.
Oh, I've
I don't
been
think I
rooting
can
for the
bring
Warriors
myself
all
to do that,
season.
but yeah.
I need KD to get one more so he can come home.
I'll take it.
Like, if they lose before they get to the finals, or they lose in the
You
finals,
want
I
him to
can
go
see
to
him
the
come back.
Wizards?
No. My home, goddammit.
Okay.
But
Anyway, I mean, look, we don't have to harp on Harden too much. It's just,
and Chris Paul needs to fucking hold it together too, dude.
yeah, what are you doing? You're getting a
dog.
fucking tech?
What are you doing, bro? You wasted a great Eric Gordon game. I think he had like 30.
That's.
or
I
some
mean,
shit
at
like
that point, the
like-
game is over. They missed. They didn't get the ball back. There's 4 seconds left. They're down 3.
Right, but 4 seconds left. They're not. Golden State's not going to miss both free throws, but they could, and it's still a 1-possession game,
Fair enough.
right? So it's like, Chris, you gotta stick that out.
You know who's had
He's gonna have to be more aggressive.
He's had like who's had like a sneaky like good NBA career?
Who's that?
Ahmad Shumpert.
Oh yeah.
Like, I just noticed he was on the Rockets yesterday. I'm like, yo, he's played with like every MVP.
Wait, not Ahmad Shumpert.
Iman Shumpert.
Oh, Iman Shumpert. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ahmad,
Yeah,
like Ahmad
Ahmad
Rashad.
Rashad.
No, like, I had no idea he was on the Rockets until like yesterday.
He's 3 feet, a full yard behind the 3.
Look at this.
He's
Watch
like good 3
this.
feet behind the line, and he
Watch
lands
this.
like
Look
a good
how far
foot
he.
inside.
You can't. If let's say Draymond was not there, watch this. Land it. He's not even intending to land
No.
on his feet. If Draymond didn't go, there'd be no way he could possibly land on his feet. This should be ready
That's
for
a
it.
wide open 3. He still falls.
This should be ready for it.
Yeah.
Offensive foul. He is throwing his feet at a
think it's
defenseless defender.
It's great.
Offensive foul. You should not be able to do that because you could potentially put your feet underneath his and then he could turn his ankle.
Yeah.
He's actually trying to land. You're not.
Yeah.
Offensive foul.
It would be lit if they called that next game.
I mean,
This year, that should be a rule change.
I mean, I get it though. Like, you're trying to protect the player, but
Yeah,
like if
that's
you're purposely not trying to land on your feet,
Protect the defender too.
Yeah,
Because think about it.
absolutely.
Imagine Draymond. Look, ready?
if he lands on his ankle,
Draymond jumps up after him, right? If Draymond had any athletic ability whatsoever, he would he would land first. He could land it on his ankle and really bust his ankle. Yeah. Dangerous. Offensive foul, Harden. Foul him out of the game.
I mean, I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to bait the refs, and for all season, that's
you know what? Play the game the way it's supposed to be played.
Naked.
Not